Welcome to today's Lost Souls, where we bring you the most impactful and unforgettable stories from around the world. Today, we remember the lives of remarkable individuals whose legacies continue to inspire and resonate. From iconic musicians to trailblazing activists, join us as we celebrate their extraordinary contributions and bid farewell to those who have left an indelible mark on our lives. Stay tuned for a journey through their incredible stories.
Emily Summers. Emily Summers was an American actress, producer, and writer born in San Francisco, California. She built a notable career in film and television with credits including Playing for Keeps, 2012, Awaken the Shadow Man, 2017, and Into the Valley, 2023. She is also known for her recurring role as Lindsay in the HBO series Westworld, 2022. Summers was deeply involved in her craft, having studied drama at Oxford University and graduated with highest honors from Piedmont High School and UC Davis, where she double majored in dramatic art and American studies. Her passion for acting started early, transitioning from ballet to theater and musical theater before focusing fully on acting. Beyond acting, she worked as a story analyst for production companies and agencies, showing a broad engagement with storytelling. Summers was also a writer and producer, notably optioning the rights to Into the Valley to write its screenplay and lead the production of the short film aiming for a full-length feature. Emily Summers was married to Geordie Robinson and passed away at the young age of 38 on May 16, 2024, in Pasadena, California, from a rare form of carcinoma. She was beloved not only for her talent, but also for her positivity, warmth, creativity, and inspiring presence among colleagues and family. She is survived by her husband, parents, in-laws, grandmother, and other close family members. Her legacy includes a promising and accomplished career cut short, marked by significant contributions to independent film projects and television, along with a dedication to female-led storytelling and complex, three-dimensional female roles. Renée Victor. Renée Victor, July 25, 1938 to May 30, 2025, was a highly respected American actress, as well as a dance instructor, singer, and choreographer. She was born in San Antonio, Texas, into a traditional Catholic family and attended an all-girls school there. Victor moved to Los Angeles in the 1960s, where she sang for renowned band leaders like Xavier Cugat and Perez Prado and taught salsa and tango dance. Alongside her husband, she performed worldwide as part of a duo called Ray and Renee, sometimes nicknamed the Latin Sonny and Cher, during their decade together from 1963 to 1973. Victor is best known for playing the wisecracking, feisty Lupita in the influential TV series Weeds, and for voicing Abuelita Elena Rivera, the stern grandmother in Disney Pixar's acclaimed 2017 animated film Coco. Her voice work also included roles as female Argonians in the popular video game The Elder Scrolls v. Skyrim, 2011. Beyond these, she had diverse character roles in numerous films, television shows, theater performances, and radio, always bringing authenticity and strength to her parts. Her film credits include Paranormal Activity, The Marked Ones, 2014, Confessions of a Shopaholic, 2009, The Apostle, 1997, Assassination Tango, 2003, and Salsa, 1988, among others. On television, besides Weeds, she appeared on ER, Snowpiercer, Children's Hospital, Tyler Perry's House of Pain, and many others, often portraying characters with humor, depth, and cultural richness. Renée Victor was also acclaimed for her talents beyond acting, including singing, dancing, choreography, animation work, interpretation and translation, and even producing segments for television. She passed away peacefully at her home in Sherman Oaks, California, on May 30, 2025, at the age of 86 from lymphoma. Victor left behind a legacy as a versatile and beloved figure in American entertainment, remembered for her lifelong dedication to the arts and the vibrant warmth she brought to her many roles. Pamela Bach-Hasselhoff. Pamela Bach-Hasselhoff, born Pamela and Weissenbach on October 16, 1962, was an American actress best known for her television roles and her marriage to actor David Hasselhoff. She hailed from Tulsa, Oklahoma, where she was the second of three daughters. Her mother was a model, and Pamela also modeled as a teenager. She attended Tulsa East Central High School and studied engineering and theater arts at Northeastern Oklahoma A&M College before moving to Los Angeles in 1985 to pursue an acting career. Pamela gained notable recognition for her recurring role as Kay Morgan on the long-running TV series Baywatch from 1991 to 2000. She portrayed a beachside cafe owner who was a significant supporting character. She also had a recurring role as Dr. Ellen Baskin, a police psychologist, on the series Sirens, 1993 to 1995. Besides television, she appeared in films such as Castle Rock, 2000, and The Sicilian Bachelor. Pamela was a recipient of Germany's Otto Award. Recognizing her popularity among German audiences, Pamela met David Hasselhoff on the set of Knight Rider in 1985, and they married in December 1989. The couple had 2 daughters, Taylor and Hasselhoff. Born in 1990, and actress Haley Hasselhoff, born in 1992. Their marriage ended in divorce in 2006 following a highly publicized custody battle. Pamela was given custody of 1 daughter, while David Hasselhoff received custody of the other. Both also appeared separately on the CBS daytime soap The Young and the Restless. Tragically, Pamela Bach-Hasselhoff was found dead at her home in the Hollywood Hills on March 5, 2025, at the age of 62. Her death was ruled a suicide by the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's Office. Throughout her career, Pamela balanced a multifaceted professional life with personal challenges, leaving a legacy as a versatile actress known for her work in popular TV series and her connection to the entertainment industry through her high-profile marriage. Lynne Marie Stewart. Lynne Marie Stewart, December 14, 1946 to February 21, 2025, was a celebrated American actress best known for her iconic role as Miss Yvonne, the most beautiful woman in Puppetland, in the Pee Wee Herman Show and the CBS television series Pee Wee's Playhouse. She originated this role in the 1981 stage version of the Pee Wee Herman Show and continued to portray Miss Yvonne in the television series from 1986 to 1991, as well as in the 2010 Los Angeles stage revival and its Broadway production, Born in Linwood, California. Stewart majored in theater arts at Los Angeles City College, where she formed a long-lasting friendship with Cindy Williams. In the 1970s, she was a member of the influential improvisational comedy troupe The Groundlings, where she met Paul Reubens, creator of Pee Wee Herman and Phil Hartman. Her early career included multiple roles on TV shows such as MASH*, Laverne, and Shirley, and a small but memorable part in American Graffiti, 1973. She also lent her voice to cartoons based on Laverne and Shirley and collaborated with Tracy Ullman on HBO and Showtime specials. Stewart was known for bringing adult-like humor and flamboyant flair to the character of Miss Yvonne, complete with her signature large brown bouffant wig, gaudy dresses, and heels. The character was beloved for her quirky charisma and playful interactions, endearing her to audiences beyond children's programming. Later in her career, Stewart also gained recognition for her recurring role as Bonnie Kelly, mother of Charlie. Kelly, on the long-running FX/FXX comedy series It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Appearing in 18 episodes from 2005 to 2023, in her 6-decade career, Stewart accumulated nearly 150 credits across film, television, stage, and voice acting. Beyond her professional work, she was known for her close friendship and work with Paul Reubens, including charitable appearances as their Pee Wee characters to bring joy to terminally ill children. Lynne Marie Stewart passed away at the age of 78 on February 21, 2025, in Los Angeles after a brief illness caused by liver and gallbladder cancer. She was cremated, and her ashes were scattered in the Rose Garden of Hollywood Forever Cemetery. She is survived by her sister, Gail Stewart, her only immediate family member. Stewart is remembered for her warm presence, comedic talent, and the timeless charm she brought to her roles, especially as Miss Yvonne, which remains a cherished part of 1980s American television culture. Leslie Charleson. Leslie Charleson, February 22, 1945 to January 12, 2025, was a distinguished American actress best known for her iconic role as Monica Quartermain on the ABC daytime soap opera General Hospital. Her career spanned over 5 decades, with Monica Quartermain being her most notable and long-standing role. Charleson first joined General Hospital on August 16, 1977, after being personally invited by Fred Silverman, then president of ABC, to help revitalize the show, which was struggling with low ratings at the time. Charleson's portrayal of Monica, a strong, spunky, and independent cardiologist who later took on the role of a mob enforcer within the storyline, became a defining character beloved by fans. She received 4 Daytime Emmy Award nominations for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama Series over the years, reflecting her critical acclaim and enduring presence in daytime television. Before General Hospital, Charleson appeared in other soap operas including A Flame in the Wind, 1964, As the World Turns, 1966, and Love is a Many-Splendored Thing, 1967 to 1970. She also guest-starred in numerous popular TV series throughout the 1970s such as Adam, 12, Emergency, Ironside, Happy Days, and The Rockford Files. In films, she had roles in The Day of the Dolphin, 1973, and other productions. During her tenure on General Hospital, she also reprised Monica on the related series Port Charles and General Hospital. Night Shift. Charleson's health began to decline after several falls starting in 2017, which affected her mobility and led to periods away from the show. Her last appearance on General Hospital was in December 2023, after which it was announced she was unlikely to return. She passed away on January 12, 2025, at age 79 in Los Angeles. The immediate cause of death was later revealed to be complications from blunt head trauma due to an earlier injury from a fall. Leslie Charleson was known not only for her talent and longevity in the entertainment industry, but also for her ability to bring depth and authenticity to a role that evolved significantly over decades. She remains one of the most enduring and beloved figures in American daytime television history. Gena Rowlands. Gena Rowlands, June 19, 1930 to August 14, 2024, was a legendary American actress whose career in film, stage, and television spanned nearly 7 decades. She was widely celebrated for her powerful, raw, and emotionally intense performances and is considered one of the most important and original actors of her time. Rowlands is best known for her collaborations with her husband, actor-director John Cassavetes, appearing in 10 films together. 2 of her most acclaimed roles were in A Woman Under the Influence, 1974, and Gloria, 1980, both of which earned her Academy Award nominations for Best Actress. She also won the Silver Bear for Best Actress for her role in Opening Night, 1977. Other notable films include The Brink's Job, 1978, Another Woman, 1988, by Woody Allen, Night on Earth, 1991, by Jim Jarmusch, Hysterical Blindness, 2002, and The Notebook, 2004, directed by her son Nick Cassavetes. Born in Cambria, Wisconsin, Rowlands began acting in theater during her youth and studied drama in New York at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. She made her Broadway debut in 1956, and throughout the 1950s and 1960s appeared frequently on television in anthology series and guest roles, including Peyton Place. Her roles often portrayed complex women grappling with psychological and emotional challenges, with a fierce and edgy presence. Gena Rowlands won 4 Emmy Awards, 2 Golden Globes, and received multiple Oscar nominations throughout her career. In 2015, she was honored with an honorary Academy Award recognizing her unique and outstanding contributions to screen acting. Rowlands' legacy is marked by her fearless dedication to portraying raw human emotions and her ability to bring depth and truthfulness to her characters. She passed away at the age of 94 in August 2024, leaving behind a profound impact on American cinema and theater as a trailblazing and inspiring performer. Macaulay Culkin. Macaulay Culkin was born on August 26, 1980 in New York City into a family that would become synonymous with both extraordinary success and profound dysfunction. The third of 7 children born to Kit Culkin, a former stage actor turned overbearing manager, and Patricia Brentup, a telephone operator, Macau's childhood was anything but ordinary from the very beginning. Growing up in a cramped 1-bedroom apartment on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, The Culkin family lived in relative poverty despite Kit's aspirations for theatrical greatness. Kit Culkin, whose own acting career had never taken off, saw his children as vehicles for his unfulfilled dreams. He was notoriously controlling and manipulative, viewing his offspring not as children to be nurtured, but as potential meal tickets to be exploited. From an extraordinarily young age, Macaulay demonstrated an innate talent for performance. His cherubic face, expressive eyes, and natural charisma made him stand out even among his siblings, who were also pushed into the entertainment industry. Kit recognized this potential early and began aggressively pursuing acting opportunities for his son when Macaulay was barely 4 years old. The boy's first professional acting experience came in 1988 when he appeared in a small role in the off-Broadway play Bach Babies at Lincoln Center. Even at such a tender age, Macaulay displayed a remarkable ability to memorize lines and deliver them with conviction. His performance caught the attention of casting directors, and soon he was auditioning for television commercials and small television roles. Macaulay's childhood was defined by an exhausting schedule of auditions, rehearsals, and performances, leaving little time for normal childhood activities. While other children his age were playing in parks or attending birthday parties, he was memorizing scripts and perfecting his craft under his father's relentless supervision. Kit's management style was harsh and unforgiving, treating his young son more like an employee than a child. The family dynamics were complicated further by Kit's volatile relationship with Patricia. Though never married, they remained together for years in what was often a tumultuous partnership. The stress of managing Macaulay's burgeoning career, combined with financial pressures and Kit's increasingly erratic behavior, created a household environment that was far from stable. Despite these challenges, Macaulay's natural talent continued to shine through. His ability to convey complex emotions and his photogenic appearance made him increasingly sought after by casting directors. By the time he was 8 years old, he had appeared in several television movies and had landed his first significant film role in Rocket Gibberler, 1988, starring alongside Burt Lancaster. The experience of working on Rocket Gibberler was both exhilarating and overwhelming for the young actor. He was surrounded by seasoned professionals and had to hold his own among established stars. The film, while not a commercial success, showcased Macaulay's potential and proved that he could handle more substantial roles. As his career began to gain momentum, the pressures on Macaulay intensified. Kit became even more demanding, pushing his son to audition for bigger and more challenging roles. The young boy's childhood was increasingly consumed by the entertainment industry with little regard for his emotional or psychological well-being. The year 1990 would prove to be the pivotal moment that transformed Macaulay Culkin from a promising child actor into a global phenomenon. At just 10 years old, he landed the lead role in Home Alone, a comedy that would not only define his career, but also become one of the highest-grossing films of all time. The casting process for Kevin McAllister was extensive, with hundreds of young actors auditioning for the role. But Macaulay's unique combination of innocence and mischievousness made him the perfect choice. Home Alone was initially expected to be a modest family comedy, but it exceeded all expectations upon its release in November 1990. The film, directed by Chris Columbus and written by John Hughes, told the story of 8-year-old Kevin McAllister, who is accidentally left behind when his large family rushes off on a Christmas vacation to Paris. What begins as a child's dream of freedom quickly turns into a battle of wits when two burglars played by Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern attempt to rob the supposedly empty house. But Macaulay's performance as Kevin was nothing short of extraordinary. He managed to carry the entire film on his small shoulders, displaying remarkable comedic timing and emotional range. His ability to switch from vulnerable child to cunning mastermind was impressive for any actor, let alone a 10-year-old. The iconic scene where Kevin slaps aftershave on his face and screams became one of the most memorable moments in cinema history, largely due to Macaulay's authentic and hilarious reaction. The film's success was unprecedented. Home Alone became the highest-grossing live-action comedy of all time, earning over $476 million worldwide against a budget of just $18 million. It held the record for the highest-grossing film of 1990 and remained in the top 10 highest-grossing films for several years. More importantly for Macaulay, It established him as the most bankable child star since Shirley Temple. The success of Home Alone catapulted Macaulay into the stratosphere of Hollywood stardom. Suddenly, he was in demand everywhere. Talk shows, magazine covers, endorsement deals, and film offers poured in. However, this success came at a tremendous personal cost. Kit Kin, emboldened by his son's newfound fame, became even more controlling and demanding, negotiating increasingly lucrative deals while maintaining an iron grip on Macaulay's career and finances. Following the massive success of Home Alone, Macaulay appeared in My Girl, 1991, a coming-of-age drama that showcased his dramatic acting abilities, playing Thomas J. Sennett, the best friend of Veda Sultan Faust, Anna Chlumsky. Macaulay delivered a performance that was both touching and heartbreaking. The film dealt with themes of death, first love, and growing up, requiring the young actor to handle complex emotional material. His chemistry with Chlumsky was natural and believable, and his character's tragic death in the film left audiences worldwide in tears. My Girl proved that Macaulay was more than just a comedic actor. He could handle serious dramatic roles with equal skill. The film was both a critical and commercial success, further cementing his status as Hollywood's premier child actor. However, the emotional demands of the role combined with the pressure of living up to his previous success began to take a toll on the young performer. The inevitable sequel, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, 1992, followed 2 years later. While not as fresh or surprising as the original, the film was still a massive commercial success, earning over $359 million worldwide. Macaulay reprised his role as Kevin McAllister, this time getting separated from his family in New York City instead of being left at home. The film featured similar slapstick humor and elaborate booby traps, but critics noted that the magic of the original was difficult to recapture. During this period, Macaulay was reportedly earning $4.5 million per film, making him one of the highest-paid actors in Hollywood, regardless of age. However, the intense schedule and constant media attention were beginning to wear on him. He was working almost constantly with little time for normal childhood activities or friendships outside the industry. In 1993, Macaulay starred in The Good Son, a psychological thriller that marked a dramatic departure from his previous wholesome roles. Playing Henry Evans, a seemingly innocent boy who is actually a dangerous sociopath, Macaulay demonstrated his range as an actor while deliberately trying to shed his innocent image. The film, while not as commercially successful as his previous efforts, showed that he was willing to take risks and challenge audience expectations. The Nutcracker, 1993, and Getting Even with Dad, 1994, followed, but neither achieved the success of his earlier films. Critics began to suggest that Macaulay was becoming overexposed, and audiences seemed to be growing tired of seeing him in similar roles. The pressure to maintain his status as Hollywood's golden child was immense, and cracks were beginning to show both in his performances and his personal life. The transition from child star to adult actor proved to be one of the most challenging periods in Macaulay Culkin's life, marked by significant health struggles and well-publicized battles with substance abuse. As the pressures of fame, family dysfunction, and the entertainment industry mounted, Macaulay began to exhibit signs of the psychological and physical toll that his extraordinary childhood had taken on him. By the mid-1990s, as Macaulay entered his teenage years, the cracks in his seemingly perfect facade began to widen. The constant scrutiny from the media, combined with his father's increasingly erratic and controlling behavior, created an environment of extreme stress and anxiety. Unlike many child stars who gradually fade from the spotlight, Macaulay had been thrust into such intense fame that stepping away felt impossible. Yet continuing seemed equally unbearable. The first signs of serious health issues began to emerge during his late teens. Reports surfaced of Macaulay struggling with depression and anxiety, conditions that were hardly surprising given the unnatural pressures he had faced since early childhood. The young man, who had once charmed audiences worldwide, was now dealing with the very real psychological consequences of growing up in the public eye under the control of an exploitative parent. In 2004, Macaulay was arrested in Oklahoma City on charges of possession of marijuana and controlled substances, including Xanax and Adderall, without prescriptions. This arrest marked the beginning of a very public struggle with substance abuse that would dominate headlines for several years. The mug shot from this arrest showed a dramatically changed Macaulay, thin, pale, and bearing little resemblance to the cherubic child who had captured hearts in Home Alone. The substance abuse issues were symptomatic of deeper psychological problems. Friends and associates reported that Macaulay was using drugs as a way to cope with the trauma of his childhood and the overwhelming pressure of his early fame. The controlled substances found during his arrest suggested he was struggling with anxiety and attention issues, possibly stemming from the intense demands placed on him from such a young age. Following his arrest, Macaulay entered a plea agreement that required him to pay fines and receive drug counseling. But his troubles were far from over. Throughout the mid-2000s, paparazzi photographs frequently showed him looking gaunt and unhealthy, fueling widespread speculation about his physical and mental well-being. His dramatic weight loss became a subject of intense media scrutiny, with tabloids speculating about everything from eating disorders to more serious drug problems. The physical transformation was shocking to those who remembered the healthy, vibrant child from his films. Macaulay's once round face had become angular and hollow. His body appeared frail, and his overall appearance suggested someone struggling with serious health issues. Medical experts who observed his public appearances speculated that he might be dealing with malnutrition, chronic stress, or the physical effects of long-term substance abuse. Mental health professionals have since noted that Macaulay's struggles were consistent with what many child stars experience: a form of complex trauma resulting from the loss of a normal childhood, exploitation by parents and industry professionals, and the intense pressure of maintaining a public persona. The constant work schedule, lack of normal social development, and financial exploitation had created a perfect storm for psychological distress. During this period, Macaulay largely withdrew from public life, making only sporadic appearances and turning down most acting opportunities. This retreat from the spotlight, while necessary for his well-being, also led to increased speculation about his condition. The media's fascination with his decline was as intense as their previous celebration of his success, creating additional stress and making recovery more difficult. Friends from this period later reported that Macaulay was aware of his problems and was attempting to address them. But the process was complicated by the deep-rooted nature of his issues and the continued public attention. Unlike private individuals, who can seek treatment anonymously, every aspect of his recovery was subject to media scrutiny and public judgment. The health struggles extended beyond substance abuse to include what appeared to be chronic anxiety and depression. Those close to him reported that he had difficulty trusting people, struggled with social situations, and often seemed to be reliving the trauma of his controlled childhood. The young man, who had once been confident and charismatic in front of cameras, now appeared uncomfortable and withdrawn in public settings. Medical professionals who have studied cases similar to Macaulay's note that recovery from such complex trauma typically requires years of therapy and a complete restructuring of one's relationship with fame, family, and personal identity. 4. Someone who had been in the public eye since age 4, developing a healthy sense of self separate from his celebrity persona presented unique challenges. The personal losses that Macaulay Culkin has endured throughout his life have been as profound as they have been heartbreaking, each one adding another layer of complexity to his already complicated relationship with fame, family, and personal identity. These tragedies have shaped not only his worldview, but also his approach to relationships, career choices, and his eventual path toward healing and recovery. Perhaps the most devastating loss in Macaulay's life was the death of his younger sister, Dakota Culkin, in December 2008. Dakota, who was just 29 years old at the time of her death, was struck by a car while walking in West Los Angeles. The accident occurred when she stepped off a curb and was hit by a vehicle, dying instantly from her injuries. This sudden and tragic loss sent shock waves through the entire Culkin family and had a particularly profound impact on Macaulay, who had maintained close relationships with his siblings despite the family's many struggles. Dakota had been working as a production assistant in the film industry and had appeared in small roles in several films, including The Santa Claus 3, The Escape Clause. Unlike her famous brother, she had largely avoided the spotlight, preferring to work behind the scenes. Her death was ruled accidental, But the loss devastated Macaulay, who was already struggling with his own personal demons at the time. The impact of Dakota's death on Macaulay cannot be overstated. Friends and family members reported that he was inconsolable for months following the tragedy. The loss seemed to deepen his existing struggles with depression and anxiety, and he withdrew even further from public life. The death of someone so young and full of potential served as a stark reminder of life's fragility and unpredictability, themes that would later influence his artistic work and personal philosophy. In the years following Dakota's death, Macaulay spoke rarely about the loss, but when he did, it was clear that her passing had fundamentally changed him. He described feeling a profound sense of guilt, survivor's guilt mixed with the complicated emotions of being the family member who had achieved fame and financial success, while his sister had died so young and with so much unrealized potential. The tragedy also highlighted the complex dynamics within the Culkin family. Despite their shared success in the entertainment industry, the siblings had experienced varying degrees of exploitation and trauma at the hands of their father. Kit Dakota's death served as a unifying force for the surviving siblings, bringing them closer together as they processed their grief and reflected on their shared experiences growing up in such an unusual and often harmful environment. Another significant loss in Macau's life was the deterioration and eventual complete breakdown of his relationship with his father, Kit Culkin. While this might not constitute a death in the traditional sense, the loss of this primary relationship, however toxic it may have been, represented a profound form of grief for the young man. Kit's controlling and exploitative behavior had damaged not only Macaulay's childhood, but also his ability to form healthy relationships as an adult. The legal battles between Macaulay and his father over control of his earnings and career decisions created a rift that would never fully heal. When Macaulay took legal action to remove his father as his manager and gain control of his own finances, it represented both a necessary step toward independence and the final severing of an already troubled father-son relationship. The emotional toll of having to legally battle one's own parent, regardless of how necessary it might have been, added another layer of trauma to Macau's already complicated psychological landscape. The loss of his childhood innocence and normal developmental experiences, while not a traditional death, represented another profound loss that continued to affect Macaulay throughout his adult life. Unlike other forms of trauma that occur at specific moments in time, this loss was ongoing and pervasive, affecting every aspect of his development from early childhood through his teenage years and into adulthood. The death of close friend and mentor figures in the entertainment industry also took their toll on Macaulay. The loss of director John Hughes, who had been instrumental in his early success and had served as something of a father figure during the filming of Home Alone, was particularly difficult. Hughes had understood Macau's unique position as a child star and had tried to protect him from some of the industry's more exploitative practices. These accumulated losses created what psychologists might recognize as complicated grief, a form of mourning that becomes stuck or prolonged due to the multiple overlapping nature of the losses and the individual's existing vulnerabilities. For someone who had already experienced significant trauma during his formative years, each subsequent loss seemed to compound the effects of previous ones. The impact of these losses on Macau's mental health and substance abuse issues cannot be separated from his overall recovery journey. Grief counselors who work with individuals who have experienced multiple losses note that healing typically requires addressing each loss individually while also understanding how they interconnect and influence each other. In recent years, Macaulay has spoken more openly about how these losses have shaped his perspective on life, relationships, and what truly matters. The deaths and estrangements he has experienced have contributed to his more recent focus on authentic relationships, creative fulfillment, and personal happiness rather than professional success or public recognition. Today, Macaulay Culkin represents one of Hollywood's most remarkable stories of recovery and personal transformation. After years of struggling with the aftermath of childhood fame, family trauma, and substance abuse, he has emerged as a healthier, more grounded individual who has successfully redefined his relationship with both his past and his future. His journey, from troubled former child star to content adult, represents a triumph of resilience and self-determination. The most significant positive change in Macau's recent life has been his relationship with actress Brenda Song, whom he began dating around 2017. Song, known for her work in Disney Channel productions and more recently in dramatic roles, has provided Macaulay with the stable, supportive partnership that had been missing from his life for so long. Their relationship appears to be built on mutual respect, shared experiences in the entertainment industry, and a deep understanding of the unique pressures that come with early fame. In April 2021, the couple welcomed their first child together, a son named Dakota Song Culkin, named in honor of Macau's late sister. The birth of his son marked a profound turning point in Macau's life, giving him a new sense of purpose and responsibility. He has spoken about how becoming a father has changed his perspective on everything from his career choices to his personal priorities. The decision to name his son after Dakota demonstrates his ongoing commitment to honoring his sister's memory. While building a positive future, family life has brought Macau a stability and joy that was notably absent during his earlier years. Friends and associates report that he is deeply devoted to his role as a father and partner, approaching these relationships with the same intensity and commitment that he once brought to his acting career. This domestic happiness has provided him with a foundation from which to pursue creative projects that genuinely interest him rather than simply accepting roles for financial reasons. Professionally, Macaulay has been selective about his return to acting, choosing projects that align with his personal interests and values rather than attempting to recapture his childhood success. His appearance on American Horror Story Double Feature in 2021 marked a significant return to mainstream television, where he played Mickey, a pale and mysterious character that allowed him to showcase his acting abilities while playing against type. The role was well received by critics and audiences, proving that he could still deliver compelling performances when given the right material. His podcast, Bunny Ears, which he launched in 2018, has become a successful creative outlet that allows him to explore his sense of humor and commentary on pop culture without the pressures of traditional media appearances. The podcast, along with its accompanying website, gives Macau complete creative control over his content and has attracted a dedicated following who appreciate his irreverent humor and unique perspective on celebrity culture and modern life. Macaulay has also ventured into other creative pursuits, including his band, the Pizza Underground, which performs pizza-themed parodies of Velvet Underground songs. While the band might seem like a novelty act, it represents his desire to engage in creative activities purely for enjoyment rather than commercial success. This approach to creativity, doing things because they bring joy rather than because they're expected to be profitable, represents a significant shift from his childhood experience of having every creative decision filtered through commercial considerations. His physical health has notably improved in recent years. The gaunt, unhealthy appearance that concerned fans and media during his troubled period has been replaced by a healthier, more robust look. He appears to have successfully addressed his substance abuse issues and has spoken about the importance of therapy and professional help in his recovery process. While he maintains his privacy about the specific details of his treatment, his improved appearance and general demeanor suggests that he has found effective ways to manage the psychological challenges that previously overwhelmed him. Macaulay's approach to fame has also evolved significantly. Rather than avoiding public attention entirely or courting it desperately, he now seems to have found a middle ground where he can engage with his celebrity status on his own terms. He makes selective public appearances, gives occasional interviews, and maintains a social media presence that feels authentic rather than manufactured or overly curated. The relationship with his surviving siblings appears to have strengthened over the years, particularly as they have all worked to heal from their shared childhood experiences. The Culkin family's collective processing of their trauma, while private, seems to have created stronger bonds between the siblings who understand each other's experiences in ways that outsiders cannot. Perhaps most importantly, Macaulay has developed what appears to be a healthy perspective on his past success and current life. Rather than being bitter about his lost childhood or obsessed with recapturing his early fame, he seems to have accepted his unique life trajectory and found ways to build meaning and happiness despite the unusual circumstances of his upbringing. His focus on family, authentic relationships, and creative fulfillment represents what many consider to be a model for how former child stars can successfully transition to healthy adult lives. Looking forward, Macaulay appears focused on being present for his family, while selectively pursuing creative projects that interest him. His story serves as both a cautionary tale about the dangers of childhood fame and an inspiring example of how it's possible to overcome even the most challenging circumstances with the right support, professional help, and personal determination. At 44 years old, Macaulay Culkin has successfully transformed from Hollywood's most famous child star into a contented adult who has learned to define success on his own terms rather than society's expectations.